Well, it's haircut day, not mine. Moose has requested a haircut. So I put my bonnet on. It's a beautiful sunny day. It's somewhere around noontime, and I'm going outside. And when I finish that, I'm going to sit on my almost patio, the one that blew away, and I'm going to do a little bit of painting and Mod Podging on some of these things. I'm going to start it anyway. I did spend quite a bit of time yesterday perusing around Michael's, and I didn't think they had a great selection of decoupaging and chinoiserie type crafting, but they did have a lot of little paints and things, so I did get those. I have enough of my Mod Podge ready to go, and I'll start it outside because I'm an amateur at this, and I'm so anxious to do this with you. I know a lot of you are doing this, and what we're doing, if I neglected to say, is we're doing a hack, a fake. If you can't find any of this blue and white china in the thrift shops or wherever to start a collection, you can fake it with a lot of decoupaging. And that's what we're going to be doing with these napkins. But first we have to do a little painting on the background. And you can do anything. You can save big peanut jars that look like ginger jars. And you can save a ton of money by maybe not buying one, making your own ginger jar by doing this same decoupaging on those. I am so anxious. This is my new thing. I also did buy a couple of little wooden coasters, and I'm going to paint them white. And a lot of people have said, I'd love to see you painting tiles. Well, I don't paint ceramic tiles anymore. It's quite a project. You have certain color paints. You have to have them fired in a kiln. And the ceramic shop where I started all this 8 or 10 years ago has closed. And so I don't have access to everything anymore. But I can show you how I painted and copied some of my antique Delft tiles and do them on a piece of wood and then go over them with Mod Podge to make it look shiny and glossy, just like a tile. So I'm kind of anxious to do this. Now, let me tell you about my sweater. I've tried a couple of times lately to put this sweater on, and as you know, I just can't stand anything too much around my neck. Well, this sweater was a high fold down, and a couple of times in the last week I've tried to fix it. Well, guess what I did? I cut it. Can you see the raw edge? I was going to just turn it down on my sewing machine and turn it in, but this seems the best way to do it. This way you keep the knit loose and you can just fold it down. So if you have any turtlenecks that you don't like up around your neck and you prefer a look that is more like a mock turtleneck, just cut the top off and fold it down. Another one of my little things. Another thing that I did was I had a missing gem in the middle of one of my turquoise bracelets. And I had some old jewelry around that had broken and whatever. And I got my Gorilla Glue out. Oh, I've been so handy lately. My little Gorilla Glue or my E6000. And I glued the piece in the middle that was missing. So I'm starting to work on some jewelry too. I have that nice big round, it's a beautiful big ring, and it fell off the ring itself. So I have to glue that back on, several pieces like that. But I'm getting in over my head. So I'm going to stick to one project at a time because you know what? I need it. I've done my nails, trying to do a little cleanup here on my body. You know, I was thinking the other day, I've been doing videos now for over 4 years. And I am 87 and 4 or 5 months, something like that right now. So when I started, I was in my, we might say, early 80s. And that's when I started to feel as if I might be feeling my age. I'm not going to say disintegrate. But I thought to myself, with these videos, you and me, we're witnessing my aging. Now, this is a body that has had no unnatural fixes. I've had no facelifts, no lifts, no fillers, no Botox, no lasers, no scrapes, no nothing. Not even expensive products, skin products, or makeup. And I don't know why. I didn't even start to wear makeup per se, other than some mascara, until I was in my 80s. I think I was 82 when I started discovering YouTube, believe it or not. All my life, all I did was put my Nivea on, or my well, I didn't have bio oil gel then. I had castor oil. It was Nivea. It was other greasy creams that I had to wear because I have such dry skin. And as you can see, my hands have always looked like this, at least the fingers anyway. But my whole body is. And after every shower, I put this Vaseline intensive oil all over me. I need the grease. And I never spent a lot of money on products because I was so happy with my Nivea, which they say, by the way, is a dupe for La Mer. And we compared it one day. Colleen used to buy La Mer ages ago. She's given that up, thank heavens, and she's on her Nivea. I proved to her it was the same. But it's funny how I notice, and probably you do if you go back to my early videos, changes in my body, my face, not my weight. Actually, my weight has gone down. And that's because my eating habits have changed. I don't eat much food at all. And I prefer the strange foods like herring and kippers and salmon, smoked salmon, artichokes, raw broccoli, raw peppers, stuff like that. I love that stuff. Every once in a while, I will indulge in my pasta and various other things, but my morning eating habits are that stuff, believe it or not. And I looked it up, and I'm getting great nutritional value in absolutely everything from potassium and magnesium and my protein and everything. I eat eggs too. Colleen has her little chicken coop, so we can eat all the eggs we want. Look at the difference of what eye makeup does on pale eyes, or at least mine. This has gotten a little bit of brown on the bottom and some of my Milani, what do they call this, tubing mascara. And this is what the eye looks like without anything. It just sort of fades into the darkness, doesn't it? So like me. I just realized that I did all the gabbing and chatting away with one eye done. Which one is it? This eye. Never did get around to putting the mascara on the other eye. So I'll do that and I'll finish this up. Actually, this video turned into 2 videos. By the time I did all the decoupaging out on the patio, and then what with the haircut and a few little cooking things in the kitchen, I realized it was much too long. So I'm breaking this up into 2 videos, and I'm putting the decoupage, the chinoiserie china painting that I did out on the patio, on one video. That will probably be the shorter video. And if I'm lucky, I can put them up in the same day. If not, the other one will follow quickly within hours, hopefully. Now, as I said, we're going out to give Moosey his haircut, and then I better start and stop my gabbing here. I'm going to sit at the table, and I want to do this now because rain is expected the rest of the week again, and I think we have 3 or 4 days of it. So I'm going to make hay while the sun shines, as they say. So get ready with me. I wonder if any of you have gotten any of this. Bring your stuff, your Mod Podge and everything. And first I got to do the haircut, or Mosey will start on me. And then I can do my crafting. Now we're going to really wet your head. So be prepared. Yep. The water is warm.
Good.
So, but I don't have a spray bottle, so be prepared. The old spray bottle disintegrated. Here really has to be soaking wet to do this.
And his, I guess, short back and sides would be great.
Like an old man?
Huh?
Like an old man?
Well, like an old man with a collar on.
You know, this hair up here never grew in, did it? From where you bumped your head as well. Oop, it feels scaly stuff. This is long. Must feel good having that neck brace off, huh?
Yeah, feels good. But a little scary.
Yep.
A little scary.
Well, you're not moving around, so you're okay. Ready. I see Debbie recommended a book this morning to you
Yeah, I
and
saw that.
Colleen.
I'm gonna have to look that up because she's about 85% on picking good ones.
Yeah. This is one about a Russian girl who...
I don't know. Well, you know what I've noticed? How I used to read, and how most of your viewers read, is all the things in a series where you get hooked on a particular author and read everything in one or another series. And some of these fellas and girls will write, 5 books about this kind of a detective and 4 books about something else, and people get hooked on this, not on the series as much as on the writer.
The characters, I think, too, right? I used to feel as if I knew the characters, and it's kind of like watching a series on Netflix, right?
Absolutely.
When it's over, we miss the characters.
Right. Where it really comes out to me now, because I don't follow the series at all anymore. I may revisit them. There are authors who come out with one book that, you sit back and say, wow. And you sit around and wait for him or her to write another one.
Uh-huh.
And maybe they do and maybe they don't.
Why don't they? I mean, especially if it's a good seller, right?
Because I don't know why.
Whoa, this haircut's gonna take a while.
Good, I'm not going anywhere.
I have stuff to do. I'm gonna start my chinoiserie decoupage. I promised the ladies I'd do something with those aluminum trays.
Ah.
And I spent some time yesterday at Michael's,
Yeah.
mainly because Hobby Lobby was closed, and I wanted to...
Closed on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know more about, educate myself a little bit more on how to do this. They recommend using, believe it or not, paper napkins.
All right.
That have the design.
Stop and tell me what chinoiserie is.
Chinoiserie is the blue and white designs, mostly from China. Chin, I think, is a derivation of the word China, and it's chinoiserie. That word is used in connection with a lot of the blue and white china that comes from China. And a lot of these designs are similar to that, as opposed to, for instance, Dutch tiles. It's more of a flowery birds designs.
Well, I would think of the Dutch tiles as being identical to the chinoiserie. So did the Chinese imitate the Dutch?
No,
Or
because
did the Dutch imitate the Chinese?
no, there's different themes. The
Different
Delft
what? Well, it's the same
themes.
color. It's the same blue.
Well, everything is the same blue. There's blue and white china from almost every country. There's the certain designs are from Germany, certain designs are from Denmark, and it just goes on and on. English, you know, the Spode china from England, it's all different.
Oh.
Now, maybe the word chinoiserie is all encompassing, but I don't think so. I think it just refers to China, from China. Anyway, I've gotten some napkins that have some pretty nice designs, and I didn't find.
Will you be careful of that ear?
Yes, you could hold it if you want when I get near it. But I didn't think Michael's had a pretty good selection of stencils and transfers and designs of stuff that I want to do. I have a lot of paints and things. And by the way, there's a big sign in the window because, as you know, ladies, Joann's is closing. Those of you who sew and frequently visit, and I guess Hobby Lobby and Michael's and whoever else is left is trying to pick up the slack. But the selections of fabrics in Michael's is very basic. It's mostly geared toward quilters, a lot of printy cottons, nothing unusual. So I don't know what we're gonna do if we want to do anything different, other than go into the city, which I don't think I will do. Thank heavens all my big projects, I think, are over.
Honey?
What?
Could you watch my right eye? Right ear? Be careful what ear.
Yeah. Would you put your hand on it when I get down around there so I don't...
I just won't move my ear. It'll stay right where it is. I won't move around. You know what I'm worried about?
No.
I think you're taking a picture of your sweater.
Okay. Might be time to bend your head down, but not yet. Well, like when you wet your hair and you cut it short, it curls up so nicely.
You know, one of the authors I used to love was Leon Uris. And so I started dipping back into him. And I found that he was a little, I don't know what the word is, but the plot seems to take longer to draw out. And it isn't really terribly sophisticated. It's almost like screenplays, you know?
Do you think your tastes change as you get older and what you enjoy is not necessarily what you enjoyed years ago?
I think that's probably true, yeah. You know, I don't follow the series guys.
Huh. Okay, I'm gonna do the back now, so you have to put your head down. I want you to watch your neck, but I'm gonna shut the camera off and we'll get back to you when we get near the end. Okay. And you're looking gorgeous. Always did. There he is. What do you think? Nice side angle. Okay, love to see the curls returning. A little sparse here and there, but to be expected.
I never see the back.
I know, I'm showing it to you right here. This is for you. Now, as I've said in the other video, this has turned out to be 2 videos in one. I had started filming this morning with giving Moosey a haircut and starting to sit on the patio. Well, I call it the patio, but it wasn't a covered patio. It was very sunny. I didn't know whether it was working out, but I started my decoupaging those silver trays, painting them, and it turned out to be too much to put on one video. So I've broken it up, and I've done this decoupaging with in one video. I just made the best homemade teriyaki chicken style teriyaki chicken bowls. I filled them with rice, half brown and wild rice. You put these little cups in for 1 minute and they're done. And I used another bit of white rice for Moosey and I, so I mixed them together. And then I sauteed some carrots, cut them up tiny pieces, and some broccoli, little tiny broccoli florets. And I put them in some sauce with butter in a frying pan and sauteed them to get them soft. And I threw in half a bag of mushrooms that I had left over. And the teriyaki sauce, where is it? It's so good. Here it is. I met Colleen and Micah in the market, and they recommended one of these. This was so good. And I did all of this in a frying pan. I did this in the frying pan. And then I just did the broccoli and the carrots in the teriyaki sauce. I threw something else in there with it. I don't know what, until it got soft. Oh, butter and a little bit of water. And then I put it in the soup bowls, and it is a magnificent bowl, teriyaki bowl. Now I used chicken. I was trying to find steak or some sort of steak strips, but I couldn't find them. But the chicken is just as good, and it's magnificent, and I'm going to go eat it right now. Here's my teriyaki chicken bowl. The sauce is wonderful. The chicken is already cooked, and all it took me was 1 to 2 minutes. You can see the mushrooms, the broccoli, the carrots, and the rice with the great teriyaki sauce. A wonderful semi-homemade teriyaki bowl. A lot cheaper than you would buy one. Yum. I also found these chicken breast skewers, already seasoned with sweet chili lime and added seasonings, vinegar, and what else? I can't read it. All kinds of sauce. And you can do these on the barbecue or in a frying pan or in the oven. And this will be one of my next meals. I just went to Albertsons this time and couldn't get over the yummy things. I've told you before about the wonderfully prepared meals they have. Now here are some beautiful ready-made baby potatoes with a black pepper sauce to go on it. And I guess you cook them. You do have to cook them. But wouldn't they make a great meal with these chicken skewers? Oh, can't wait to make that meal. Turned out to be 2 videos. This one is a little bit longer and it has more on it. By the way, I did talk with Debbie on the phone a little while ago, and she has a new recipe. She couldn't wait to tell me. Of course, she watches all my videos and she loves the onion soup one. She said she noticed everyone was clamoring for the recipe. Well, she found a recipe for French onion soup meatloaf. Now, if Moosey's listening right now, and I know he's down in Moosey's world, that might prick up his ears a little bit, because
I want to see it.
I know he's the meatloaf lover, not particularly me, but French onion soup, yes. Evidently, you glisten your onions and you get them sauteed to a nice glisten and braise them.
Cheese on it.
Yes, and it puts some cheese in this meatloaf. It has Worcestershire sauce and various things in it that a normal meatloaf would not have. And she's going to send the recipe. I think she's making it tonight for Barry, her husband, who is also not a big meatloaf lover, but he was intrigued with this recipe. And I said to her, Deb, why don't you go ahead and film it and I'll put it on my video. She said, oh, I don't know whether I can do it. But she's going to take a couple of pictures and maybe I'll add it on to one of the next videos. That sounds good for all of you meatloaf lovers out there, right? So thanks so much for watching, my friends. And I hope you enjoyed the little chat with Moosey again. Love you so much. Bye for now, and God bless us all. My next project will be a ginger jar made out of a big jar of peanuts or something. So save your jars, ladies. Save anything. You can do this over plastic clear jars. You can do it over china. You can do it over aluminum, anything. Fun project.